Today we'll be talking to Ashok Rajgopal, who is a professional consultant in the area of strategy and finance with expertise in media, entertainment, and sports. So Ashok, since your career has mainly been in media and sports industries, which are large growth areas today, what are the trends that you've noticed with the rise of OOT streaming platforms and esports?
Yeah, hi, Sean. Thanks for having me. As far as media companies are concerned, I think the last 20 years has been essentially defined by technology changes, and what way back in 2000 we kind of saw this coming in terms of technology changing very rapidly, and therefore the consumption of media has changed dramatically, and you've always moved towards from having moved towards video on demand essentially. So that's really what's transpired over the last 20 years, has been viewing at fixed prime time in the year 2000 has lost all relevance as we speak today in a lockdown, where you consume exactly what you want in terms of media when you want it, and on devices that are most appealing to you. So compare this 2 points in time where you had uh, one of those programs on Star Plus at where 9 o'clock in the evening was supposed to be prime time, and got the maximum advertising revenues at that hour way back in 2000. And you talk about today when you're actually consuming media on Netflix on your telephone sitting in your bedroom. So I think the biggest change as far as media is concerned has been in the manner of consumption, the choice, and therefore I think the providers of media have had to kind of redefine themselves and reinvent themselves. So it's really changed in terms of not only defining what kind of content, but how they're going to use the content, and therefore the kind of content changes in terms of what you want to use. For example, the length of content, as you know today, you can have much shorter duration movies, and episodes on Netflix or Prime, and similarly, what you consume on mobile can be as short as 20 seconds. So essentially, media and content providers have to kind of keep adapting themselves. That's as far as media is concerned, Sean. On on the sports front, esports has taken off quite expectedly. I think here, they will coexist with so whereas in traditional media, you've actually seen everything change dramatically because technology is changing. Whereas with sports, I think esports will only complement the physical sports. I don't think it takes away from it, and I think that's the main difference between media and sports in terms of how technology has influenced it.
I think technology has influenced these two industries today, and so how should students approach working in these industries with these changes happening?
I think first of all, uh, you know, in our times in the 90s, students didn't really have a choice of getting into getting into these spaces. Actually meant whether it was media or sports, was you had to be a sportsman, or you had to be someone who had aspirations to be an actor, or an artist. However, I think over a period of time, because both of these industries have evolved, there are far more professional opportunities in both sports, in the business of sports and the business of media, which and it is specialized services. So I think that's the big change. Students who are able to kind of identify these areas as areas of their passion, or areas that they would like to get into. I think the big change is that both there are far more career options in both these spaces, as well as there are far more specialized educational content and programs to help you get there.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, Ashok, and I wish you all the very best.
Thanks, Sean. My pleasure, man.